Welcome back to the Giant Hot Takes podcast, your home for the hottest takes about the San Francisco Giants. I'm your host, Jack. I'm joined by my co-host, Jake. Before we get into things, we'd love if you liked this video, subscribed most importantly. We're slowly climbing. Hope to get to 200, hope to gain some momentum that the Giants have right now. Go over to X, follow us at Giant Hot Takes. We're up to 1,300 there, growing about 30% per month, which is fun. Giants are 5-1, Jake. Before we get into things, how are you feeling? Just a heads up, we are at Jake's house right now, so mic quality might be a little bit lower, so bear with us, but we're getting an episode in on spring break.
Yeah, quality on the mic's definitely shite compared to what we're used to now, but just bear with us for a couple minutes here. So overall, I'm feeling great, living up to the expectations of what I had for the Giants early on in the season. I mean, we did it in spring, why not just continue that going a little bit? So it's great to see that we're getting things off on the right foot.
Yeah, for sure. And so just to get some news around the league, I mean, baseball, the world is better when baseball is being played. So just around the NL West, which is the only division that matters, probably the best division in all of professional sports. The NFC North was pretty elite for football, but this division's better for baseball. I'll say it right there. Dodgers sitting at 7-0 right now. Padres are 7-0. It's the first time, I don't know when the last time it's happened, but it's only happened 5 times in history that teams have started off 7-0 and they won the World Series both times. The Giants are 5-1 in third place at 5-1. The Arizona Diamondbacks are at 4-2, about to sweep the Yankees tomorrow if they can close that out. The Rockies are sorry as hell. What is this division, Jake? It's a gauntlet this year.
It's ridiculous. We're the third best team in baseball, yet we're third in our division. So that pretty much sums up exactly what's going on at the start of this year. So, I mean, that's as expected. I was really assuming that we had all 4 teams in this division out of 5 be above 500 this year. And it's on that track right now. I get it. It's the first week of baseball, but, I mean, all these teams are playing so well, and this dominance can't just be looked over. So, yeah, overall, it's just crazy division right now. So, we're in for one this year for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a grind. I think this team is more than capable and can withstand this division. We'll talk about that in the specifics later. Before we started this, me and Jake have some apologies to give out for sure. Just kind of something we wanted to get off our chest. I'll start here. Then Jake has a specific player he wants to apologize to as well. I want to send a deep, heartfelt apology to Wilmer Flores. I spent all offseason talking about Gerard Encarnacion. Love Gerard. Hope he's back soon. Not a big Lamont Wade guy. Kind of just have a stud in Eldridge waiting, and let me tell you, if Eldridge is half the player as 2025 Wilmer Flores, we have a special human being. So this is my Wilmer Flores apology form. It's to Wilmer from Giant Hot Takes. It is dated April. I don't know what the date is today. The reason for this behavior was 1, I missed Gerard Encarnacion. 2, I was jealous of his walk-up song. And 3, I thought he didn't have me for some reason. So I signed my name. I said, I will hereby respect Wilmer Flores, and I will not talk down on the 2022 award winner for the Willie Mac. So, happy to get that off the chest. Wilmer Flores, as we've said, is going to be an MVP candidate this year. Jake, who's your apology to?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that a certain individual from a different country across the world just hit a home run to end the Dodgers game. So,
is he a gambler?
He does gamble a lot, and he did a certain event in the past that led to another event that was really big in the world. So, yeah, that guy just did something that we do not want to talk about right now. So, I also want to owe an apology to Jordan Hicks. He did this last year too, and I did not expect it again. He absolutely dominated in his outing in front of 90 friends and family members in Houston just the other day. So, absolutely great outing from him. We're going to get into it a little bit more, but I do owe him an apology considering the fact that I told him he should be out of the bullpen and that we should have like 4 guys ahead of him. But right now he's looking like our ace. So, yeah, big apology to my guy Jordan Hicks. The velocity was up. The location was there. Stuff was good. Everything was kind of flowing for him throughout his entire start. So, yeah, that's my apology.
Yeah, just good to get it off our chest. It's kind of been weighing on us. We've been texting all week we're just dumbasses. But it kind of comes with the game. We've been correct on some guys. We've been wrong on some guys. We'll continue to cook guys. But when players have success, we are the most positive Giants fans you'll see. It never breaks our heart to see guys like Flores and Hicks going above expectations, because that means the Giants are going to win a lot of games. So recapping the Reds series, we got last Thursday, opening day, one of the better days of the year. I think it's better than Super Bowl Sunday. It should probably be a national holiday. That's a different conversation. Giants come out against Hunter Green, and Hunter Green just looks ridiculous, like a Cy Young hitter. Giants couldn't put the ball in play. Those early innings in that game before the fourth inning bomb by Elliot Ramos, kind of what were you seeing from the hitters? Hunter Green stuff's electric, as you touched on last episode.
Yeah, I was probably one of the most negative human beings in all of history during the middle of that game. I mean, we had 17 strikeouts, couldn't get anything done. Ramos kind of just struck lightning in a bottle with that swing with the 11 pitch at bat, found one in the zone, hit it the other way, left the yard. Probably would have been a flyout in most stadiums, but it doesn't matter because in the stadium we were playing at, a ball's gone. So that was really a big factor for our entire offense. It kind of got the momentum going a little bit, because before that, everything was just complete downhill trending. I mean, he had, 9 strikeouts? No, he didn't have 9. He had 7 strikeouts in the first 3 innings or something like that. But, yeah, Green was just pitching amazing. He pitched amazing again yesterday. They couldn't squeak that game out because their offense sucks. But, yeah, overall, kind of a crazy, crazy game. Not how I wanted to start off the season with those kind of emotions flowing. But, I mean, it's a great way when you win. So, Flores, just, I mean, amazing. Bailey knocking in the run to tie the game. It was insane. I don't know, man. This team is just so weird sometimes. I mean, what do you got to say about it?
Yeah, just unbelievable stuff. So me and Jake had a flight back to from San Diego back to SFO, where we're from, back for spring break, and we get in this Uber ride, and Adames strikes out in the top of the ninth. The Giants are down 3-2, strikes out for, I think it was the 16th straight, or not straight time, but the 16th time of the game. We get a Matt Chapman single, which kind of started things. Elliot Ramos strikes out, and then Jung Hoo Lee goes first to third on that hit by Chapman, and then Patrick Bailey, like the Uber guy, thought we were crazy, just throwing a shit fit in the back seat, completely warranted. Probably Bailey's only good swing of the year so far, and then Flores just unloads on a baseball. The cardiac Giants are here. This team's playing Buster Ball. This team's winning games. Just incredible to see them win that. Kind of wanted to go over some pitching things on my side. Webb looks pretty rocky this game. So he walks 3, which is really rare. If you didn't know, the Reds' mound is the lowest in the league in terms of height. So he complained about that. I'm not a big guy on that type of excuse, but I do trust Webb there. Just gets rocked, kind of, and then settles in, goes 5 innings, 3 earned. Randy Rodriguez comes in, cleans up his mess, strikes out 2. Eric Miller looks great. Tyler Rogers looks great. Ryan Walker gets the job done. Don't know how that last ball stayed in the yard, but kind of what you see from Webb in the bullpen. The bullpen, as we'll see this entire episode, is a major strength of this team.
Yeah, Webb was really pissing me off early on. He couldn't figure it out of the stretch. It was all the wind-up. He couldn't get that feel down for it. He was throwing a lot of meaningless pitches out of the zone. He just had to be in the wind-up in order to get stuff done. And with a guy like Elly De La Cruz, who's on base, it really doesn't make it easier. It's a complete stress bomb for pitchers when he's on base, because he's constantly thinking about stealing a base every single time. But when you got a guy back there like Patty, it can definitely take some of that weight off your shoulders, because De La Cruz didn't get a stolen base the entire series because of him back there. So that's really big to see that we have a catcher so fearful for a lot of runners. So that's definitely going to be a plus this year, holding runners on first base and not letting them get into that scoring position that we often lose so many games because of. So overall, negative strikeout-wise, but we get the job done. So love to start off the season with a win. It's a huge plus.
Yeah, it's been a while since we started off the season with a win. It just feels like it's been forever. I don't know. It hasn't actually been that long, but I know for sure we lost last year and the year before. So obviously good to start like that. Rolling into game 2, kind of more the same from the Giants. They get off to an early 2-0 lead, which was awesome to see. Flores goes yard off Lodolo early. It's kind of all we had early. We had a Jung Hoo Lee RBI, which is kind of the theme of Jung Hoo Lee getting big hits this week. Giants end up blowing this one. They lose 3-2. 8 hits, only 1 strikeout, which was just
Yeah, I don't know
shocking to see.
how we lost that.
Yeah, but Verlander looks pretty good. Ken, you want to touch on what you saw from Verlander in the offense before we get into the bullpen? Because I thought there was definitely some positives in this game, and if we play like this, we're going to win a lot of ball games.
Yeah, I mean, Verlander looked great. His stuff was going early. They couldn't really touch him that well. Had 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. It's a strikeout an inning that plays every day of the week. 1 walk in 5 innings. I mean, as well. That's gonna do the job. They had a couple good swings that really kind of got the best of us, including the 1 bomb. I mean, it is a fluky park, so it's gonna happen sometimes. But overall, great outing from the 42-year-old vet. And on the hitting side of things, we did exactly what we needed to work on, which was not strike out. Striking out 1 time is kind of insane. That just doesn't happen ever. When's the last time a team struck out once in an entire game?
And lost.
Yeah, and lost. It's probably never happened before. I could probably stand by that. But yeah, 1 strikeout in an entire game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, just pretty insane. To shout out some performances here, Giant Hot Takes is pretty much a Luis Matos fan club. He gets his first start here against the lefty, which was really nice to see because you didn't know how much he was going to play, if they really were going to commit to that platoon. It looks like they are. He goes 2 for 4 with a double in his first AB. Ramos hits an extra base hit. It's going to be a theme, as we'll talk about later. Flores goes yard. Jung-Hoo Lee steals a base. It's kind of a tough loss. Spencer Bivens gives up. It was a fluky home run to Christian Encarnacion Strand, the College Park graduate, over in Pleasant Hill. But again, can't be giving up home runs, obviously, in that scenario. Ended up costing us the game. Kind of what'd you think of us coming off an off day going to Bivens in a high leverage like that? I don't think there's really... It's on Bivens for giving that up, but I don't think Melvin can put him in a situation like that again.
Yeah, last year he looked to him in those kinds of situations sometimes towards the end of the season when things were kind of winding down, but that's obviously for a reason because we were kind of out of playoff contention at that time, and we were getting some of the younger guys and some of the guys who don't have as much experience some looks and some high leverage moments. But especially early in the season right now, I don't think that's really the smartest thing to do, to go to him, even though we know he's such a great pitcher, and we saw last year that you can pretty much throw him anywhere at any time and even start a game and he'll pitch well in any situation. But he's off to a kind of a rough start this year. It happens, a little sophomore slump never hurts anyone, but he's got to kind of figure things out because we're kind of in a situation here where there's some guys that are going to come up and down because there's guys right on the line in the minors right now that, they're going to come in and take any opportunity they can get when people aren't playing up to expectations. So he's got to straighten things out for his own safety right now, but it's going to happen sometimes. I mean, it's 1 rough start out of the entire bullpen.
Yeah, he's kind of the only guy not pulling his weight right now, and it's 2 innings of work. I wouldn't panic too much. I think it's fair to assume you won't see him in the 8th and 9th inning or high leverage spots for a little bit, but you just kind of hear what Buster's echoing. It's not going to be like a Farhan thing where you have 1 bad game or 1 AB and you're yanked and you're in Sacramento the next day. They're really going to let these guys stay up. They earned it over a big sample size in spring, so I'd imagine to see Bivens out there again next week, even as soon as Friday. Going into the last game of the series, obviously want to start the season off with a series win, and that's exactly what the Giants do in this game. They win this game 6-3, 7 hits, 0 errors. Robbie Ray's perfect through a lot of this game, and then finally gets torched there in the 6th inning, gives up a couple bombs. His stuff looked good. Are you kind of panicked by that final line? Because I thought there was a lot of positives to draw from that.
No, not panicking at all. His changeup was looking so well, actually being able to see it in person. But, his stuff was electric. The fastball was moving. Everything was going well. The hitters weren't seeing it well. It was just kind of that 1 inning where they had a couple of strikes, and it really threw everything off. But overall, he was perfect through, was it 4 innings?
I think so.
So, yeah, that's a big portion of his outing was completely perfect. And one bad couple pitches really doesn't define an entire outing. So I think that watching stats isn't really necessary here because overall he pitched really, really well besides that 1 inning. So, yeah, coming back to our ballpark, it's going to be a little bit of a different story considering the ball does not fly as much as it does in Cincinnati. I mean, it flies more there than it does anywhere besides Coors. So everything's going to only get better from here with his stuff. I think it looked really good.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of the overarching theme with Ray has always been command. Only walks one here. I thought command was on point all day. Almost threw a little too many strikes. Those home runs just leaked a little bit over the plate, as we saw. Eric Miller comes in the bullpen, 0.2 innings, 1 hit. He looks fantastic. We got the Lou Trevino debut, 1 inning, just zeros in the box score. We got Tyler Rogers, kind of gets into some trouble, walks 1 hit, 0 runs. Doval gets a save. Doval, before we go into the hitting side of things, Doval looks like he's back to all-star form. All 3 of his outings this week, electric, in the zone, stuff's good, he's smiling. What do you see with Doval? Because it's getting me fired up.
He's been really great, and I really hope we don't jinx this, because he is still Cardiac Camilo, but it's going to take some time for him to get that nickname to fly away and go back to Tranquilo Camilo, where we don't worry anymore. But right now it's Cardiac Camilo, so he's really trying to get that nickname out of the picture, and he's been doing so well this entire season so far. He's taken advantage of every opportunity he's been given, and we're kind of looking at a Monty Gibbs closing role right here with Walker, Doval, 1-2 punch. Looks really solid right now, both with over 2 saves, or 2 and 3 saves right now, so it's been great to see from both guys. And yeah, overall, the hitting side of things too, this is a perfect game that I like to see. Is only 7 strikeouts for us. That's phenomenal. On the hitting side of things, we scored 6 runs on 7 hits. That's going to win you a lot of ball games right there. The early part of the lineup really didn't have a great day, but when you move towards Lee, Chapman, and Ramos, all 3 of those guys accounted for 5 of our 6 runs, so that was really big to see. Overall, great game from the fellas.
Yeah, for sure. We have a Ramos home run this game, a Matt Chapman home run. Chapman, if you remember, made a ridiculous double play late in that game. Got the runner to go out of the baseline, threw it on the run, double play to get us out of the inning. That's the type of plays where Matt Chapman is probably, I haven't looked, but easily top 10 in WAR in the league right now, maybe top 5, because the defense is electric. He hits a bomb the next inning. Jung-Hoo Lee tacks on 2 hits. This team's unbelievable. They go 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They have 5 2-out RBIs, which is just something that we haven't seen a Giants team do ever since we've had this podcast, and ever since, I don't even know, because this is how you win championships, and that's the goal at the end of the day.
10 RBIs in the season. I did not realize yet that. Just looking at that.
Yeah, Flores has 10 RBIs. It's just shocking to see. Giants start the season off with a series win. Rolling into Houston, going into this Houston game, we didn't have time to break it down for you guys, but the Astros are a playoff team, top 10 in power rankings. You can buy however much you want into that. But it's a good team. Really good hitters. Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, Christian Walker, Jeremy Pena. Just really good players across the board. They go into Houston game 1, just dominate these motherfuckers. They win 7-2. Jordan Hicks starts off, as Jake said earlier, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Didn't get into any sort of trouble after the first inning. What were you seeing with Jordan this game specifically? Because I don't think he missed a pitch that game.
He only allowed 1 hit in 6 innings. I mean, he was making these guys look like fools up there. Every single pitch he threw had meaning to it. He was hitting his spots. He was working the corners the whole time. Sweeper was looking good. Fastball had velocity on it. It was averaging, I think it was 98.6 throughout his entire outing. Had a couple north of 100. So great stuff from him. That's exactly what we need out of a guy like Jordan Hicks to bring in as our 4 guy with that electric fastball and the tricky slider to go with it. So great outing from Hicks all around. 2 walks in 6 innings. That's fine. That'll play. It's a walk every 3 innings. So what? Out of a guy that throws that hard, you can live with that any day of the week if he's hitting his spots outside of that. Overall, from a bullpen, a great day, besides Bivens, who got off to a little bit of a streaky start with the 2 hits, 2 runs, and only 0.2 innings. It's all right. It's early in the year. He'll figure it out. We know his stuff's good. He's new to the squad. He only came up about 3/4 of the year last year, and he's put in high leverage situations this year. So overall, besides just that, everything looked great. Miller came in there, got that hold that was huge with a strikeout on Alvarez. And Ryan
99 Walker, paint on that on the inside corner. Yeah. Eric Miller's electric.
Walker finishing the job. Exactly what we like to see from the squad on the pitching side of things. And on the hitting side of things, when you put up 7 runs on 9 hits, you're going to win a lot of ball games. 10 strikeouts, that's better than our average, so we can live with that. That's fine. So what? overall, everyone was kind of involved in this game, and that's what I really like to see.
Yeah, for sure. And like 10 strikeouts you can live with, especially when you walk 5 times. Adames gets a walk here. Chapman walks twice. My favorite part of this game offensively, obviously Flores goes yard again, which is just bonkers. He's second in the league in home runs right now, tied with Aaron Judge. He's incredible. He's matched his home run total. We'll get into a deep dive into Flores later, but everybody contributes here. 4 for 9 runners in scoring position. 2 out RBIs. We have 6 of our 7 runs this game came with 2 outs. Just unbelievable stuff. I can't believe this.
Too. 5 walks.
5 walks is special. We limit this Astros team to 3 hits. I think Yordan Alvarez only had 2 hits in this series, and it was the last game. Just incredible work all around once again. We win this opening game. Rolling into game 2. Giants take this one 3-1. Only 4 hits. Fantastic Logan Webb masterclass once again. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks. 0 walks this entire game in 9 innings for an MLB team. What did you see in this game? This is a game where you could almost say, looking at the box score, we got outplayed, but it never felt like this game was in the balance.
The defense really played a huge role in this game. I think we had 3 double plays, all assisted from Logan Webb. And that's going to win you a lot of games because every time they get a runner on and you got no outs or whatever, and it's looking like a situation where you're going to blow the game, Chapman will make something special happen on that corner at the 5-4-3, 6-4-3 double plays that we had this game. I think those are huge. Those will save you a lot of bad things that could end up happening in the game. And they had 7 hits and only 1 run because of it, and we squeaked it out 3-1 while only having 4 hits. So it's really big when the defense is there to back up Logan Webb, being one of the most ground ball heavy pitchers in the entire league. So when that happens, everything's going to go well for the squad, even when the hitting's not there. Overall, hitting was pretty shitty. 13 strikeouts. We had 4 walks, which is good, but there was just way too many strikeouts. It's kind of ridiculous when you have 13 strikeouts in a 9-inning game. 4 hits, it's not good, but when the defense and pitching's there to back it up, you're going to squeeze out some of those games, and I definitely have a feeling we're going to need some more of those this year because, I don't know, it's the Giants. They're going to find a way to shit the bed in the hitting side of things every once in a while, and pitching vice versa. So when one side of the team doesn't show up, the other has to, and that's exactly what happened in this game. We were able to squeak it out 3-1, so that's good.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable when these hits are coming. So Adames finally has his first big moment as a Giant. Patrick Bailey works a walk. Christian Koss walks his first AB. Wade has a horseshit at bat, and then Adames ropes one down the line for 2 RBI double to put us up 2-0. Then next inning, Ramos kind of hits one 109 miles an hour out to left field at the short porch. Gone in like 8 stadiums, but it counts. So just unbelievable timing. We had 4 hits, 3 extra base hits. So if that's when we're going to get our hits, then I'm not going to complain. Not ever going to complain about winning games against good teams. So started off 4-1. This is a team last year that, quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe we only had 2 sweeps last year, and it was the Rockies both times.
I'm pretty sure it was either 2 or 3 sweeps in the entire
season.
Which
shouldn't even count. Unless they swept in September. I'm not exactly sure, but there was not many. This team could never get their damn brooms out. We've talked about it. We thought it was kind of like cursed in the dungeon with like Harry Potter, but the damn brooms are out early this year, man. I'm sweeping right now with my hands. Giants start this game off on an absolute heater. Flores goes yard in the first inning. Matos goes yard in the first inning. It was in the second inning for Matos, I apologize. We put up 5 runs in the first 2. What'd you see here? This was such a fun game to watch besides the 16 strikeouts.
Yeah, this game was just so weird. There was 16 swinging strikeouts, I think, in the first 6 innings of the ball game. Something ridiculous like that. I don't exactly quote me on that, but both pitchers were dialed in with the strikeouts. Besides, Valdez was just kind of leaving some in the wrong spots to some of our big hitters like Matos and Flores, who both took advantage of that fucker. And besides that, he had a pretty solid outing outside of the absolutely getting raked. So, great to see that the Giants were hitting their ace. We don't usually hit a lot of aces. So, especially a guy who can tend to go really long in the games, pushing him out after 5 was a pretty big deal for us. And we got him to walk 4 hitters. That is big. This is exactly what we need to do on Friday against this pitching staff that we're about to go up against. We're going to talk more about them in a little bit, but overall, besides the 14 strikeouts or 16 strikeouts that we had, it was a pretty solid day from the plate. So can't complain when you win a game like that.
Yeah, it's just really incredible. You go into this game, this team hasn't been able to sweep in the majority of the last couple years. You have Landon Roop, who hasn't started many games at the big league level, versus Framber Valdez, who's probably top 3 in shortest odds for AL Cy Young, and the Giants have this game almost in the wraps by the bottom of the second inning. It's just shocking. Roop looks good, 4 innings, 8 strikeouts, walks 4, leaves the 5th inning with the bases loaded. Randy fucking Rodriguez comes in, shuts the door, 1 hit, 1 inning pitch, 2 strikeouts, ends up giving up 1 run, but was just credited to Root. But Rodriguez comes in the hardest situation possible, and Baby Doval comes through. After Rodriguez, Birdsong gives up 2 of the scammiest hits you'll ever see, broken bat single and a knob spinner that squeaked through the 3-4 hole. Birdsong looked really good. I saw something, his changeup was top 5 on the nasty scale in terms of all of Major League Baseball right now, so his stuff's better. Fastball velo was up almost 2 miles an hour on average, which was insane to see. Tyler Rogers has his best inning of the year, and Cardiac Camilo appears to be gone because he throws, I'm trying to find how many pitches he threw. He threw 10 pitches and 6 strikes and closes this thing out quick. So if you're going to get that Camilo Doval paired with that Ryan Walker paired with this bullpen, the Giants are going to win a shit ton of 1-run games, which is what's going to play in late September and October. Is that a fair summary there? Because that's what this team needs to get over the hump.
It's a blessing if Doval can return to his 2023 self, because the sky's the limit for him as a closer, and same with Walker. And if you have them both playing at the top of their game, we're going to have a bullpen that looks similar to what the Guardians had last year with their all-around sub-3 ERA from the entire bullpen, including starters last year, which is ridiculous to see. But if those 2, Walker and Doval, can be locked in all year, then I don't see any teams squeaking ahead late in the game. So that's huge that we're seeing this Doval early on right now.
It's ridiculous, and I can't wait to see us. Hopefully we don't get into many extra inning games, but even with that ghost runner, I don't see them scoring a run on Camilo right now, or Rodriguez, or insert player not Bivens. It's insane to watch right now. Some fun stats from the week. Elliot Ramos is the first Giant to start the season with an extra base hit in 6 straight games since 1901. It was 5 straight before today, obviously, and it was 1971 with, I think it was Willie Mays. So just insane company. Elliot Ramos continues to put himself in this company. Is it fair to say Elliot Ramos is a budding superstar, and you could refer to him as not quite a frontline superstar, but a star by the end of the season?
I think so. I definitely think so. He's got pop at all sides of the field, which you don't see with a lot of young hitters. So him coming out here and already hitting a couple opposite field home runs and also pulling a couple as well. It's really big to see that he's finding this early on in the season, and hopefully he can continue it moving forward, because a lot of people thought that last season was just a fluke and that he's going to regress, but he hasn't really been regressing at all, like some people said, and he's off to a great start, as you said, with 6 straight games with an extra base hit to start the season for the first time since 1901. So that's crazy to see that he's doing this and making such a big impact for this team early on.
Yeah, just a special guy. If you're on lists like last year, first homegrown all-star since Chili Davis, and then Willie Mays this year, and then I don't even know who the guy was in 1901. I forgot to put it down. It's just, if you're putting yourself in this company, you're in special territory. Jackson Merrill signed that big extension this morning for the Padres. Happy to see the Padres keep a guy like that. Merrill's electric. Happy to see him get rewarded. Wonder if we see something like that happen with Ramos in the next year or two. I know we have a ton of control, but I think it's in the best interest of both parties to try to keep Ramos here long term. Some other notes, we got Wilmer Flores is second in the league in home runs. I don't know where the 10 RBIs ranks, but it's probably got to be top 10.
No, it's definitely top 10. It might be top 5.
Okay, yeah, it might be top 5. Jake's looking at that right now. In 2024...
he's second in the league.
In RBIs?
It's a 4-way tie for first, but he's got... First is 11, and he's got 10.
Yeah, okay, so he's technically in 5th, but actually in 2nd. Flores, just unbelievable, has already matched his 2024 total of home runs. Another point that we always bring up on this pod, this team is stealing bags, Jake. 5 stolen bases. This is before today, where they're playing Buster Ball. Let's let this sink in. The San Francisco Giants, they play at Oracle Park in San Francisco, is 7th in the league in stolen bases. Can you believe this, or am I dreaming?
It's crazy. I think they had another one today. They might have moved up one.
Who stole it today? Was it Yaz?
Yaz stole one.
Yeah.
So we're in 6th right now.
Yeah, so we're in 6th. We moved up.
Pittsburgh has 19 stolen bases on the year.
Yeah, I don't even know how that's happening. There must be like sped catchers.
That is insane.
But this team's stealing bases. We're seeing rewards of it. We're seeing some hit and runs, moving guys,
hitting with runners
in scoring position. It's just incredible to see. Some flaws with this team. So awesome start, 5-1. Can't ask for anything better. There's definitely some flaws. This team's going to fall into some tough stretches hitting wise. The pitching, I think it's fair to say that the pitching is going to carry them through these tough stretches. Currently 21st in batting average, hitting .202.
Still 5-1.
Yeah, still 5-1, hitting this bad. There's not many series you're going to win with Willy Adames going 1 for 11 in Cincinnati and not much better in Houston. Kind of what do you see with the bats? It's obviously going to go through some tough stretches, but you think the pitching's well equipped to get us like some 2-1 wins, 1-0 wins?
Yeah, I just think that pitching is going to be hard to maintain this insane run we've been having. So Willie's definitely going to need to step it up a lot. He's been pretty awful so far, besides a couple of situations with runners in scoring position, which have honestly won us games. But aside from that, he's kind of been strikeout prone and hasn't really done a lot. There's been nobody else on. He hasn't really gotten any momentum started. He's been more the guy to come through. And as a two-hitter, we'd like to see a little bit more momentum starting. But I think he's going to figure it out just fine. You know, it's early on in the season. He's gonna get it moving probably this next series. You can even quote me on that. Watch him hit a bomb tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Friday.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, the hitting's been a little bit streaky. Besides the one game where we had one strikeout, it's been a pretty strikeout heavy team as expected. You know, these things aren't gonna really change without insane differences everywhere. But as long as we're winning games and doing what we're doing, we just got to keep that rolling and move it to the next series against the Mariners.
Yeah, I totally agree. And what's interesting about this team is they're probably going to be bottom half of the league in batting average, but you have some guys like Chapman, Adames, Jung-Hoo Lee, and Ramos who can run into some hot stretches. Wilmer Flores is in one right now. Not a guy that you'd even expect to run into one like this, but they have some guys who just hit extra base hits. So even if they pop 5 hits in a game, you could get an Adames 3-run shot in mid-June to carry you through a stretch. Adames will heat up. Look at this guy's track record. He hit 32 home runs last year. He can still easily hit 30 this year. So I just say wait till Adames gets hot. The league will be on notice the second this guy runs into a stretch. So that'll be fun to watch. Some other good notes. We had 0 errors this week. It's the first time in, I believe, Giants history they've started off the season with 6 straight games without an error.
Best in the league, tied with the Cubs.
Pitching wise, we're 27th in the league with 10 walks, which is absurd in 9 times 6 in around 54 innings, give or take a couple. 5th in WHIP in 0.93, 9th in batting average against at 199. So this team's pitching their balls off. They're going to continue to do it, starting with Verlander on Friday. Going into Friday, home opening day. Hope a couple of you guys listening will be out there watching. I won't be in attendance. Jake will be in attendance. Game 1 for you, Mariners preview. Justin Verlander versus Bryce Miller. Jake, break down Bryce Miller for me. He's got some good stuff.
Bryce Miller last year he pitched well above expectations. They got 5 guys that can absolutely compete out there. Bryce Miller, crazy to me that he's their 4 guy. I think he's going to be their best guy this year. I mean, they got Gilbert, Kirby, and Castillo. I think Castillo's going to work his way down to the 5th guy this year. That's just my personal opinion. I just don't think he's going to continue doing this stuff, considering he's getting older every year. But Bryce Miller is definitely on the come up. He's really solid. He's got a good fastball. He's got a good slider. He's going to cause a lot of swing and misses. So he's definitely a guy we got to watch out for and try to grind out at bats because he's gonna be hard to hit. He's a great pitcher for sure.
And yeah, no, we're not going to get these little league Mickey Mouse home runs like we have been getting in Houston and Cincinnati. So I'd imagine some more pitchers duels. Excited to see Verlander. go and get after it. Miller in 2024, 31 games started, 12-8 with a 2.94 ERA. Struck out 171 in 180 innings, 0.98 whip. So just really good stuff. Going to be a tough game to win, but this team's just finding ways to win games. I imagine they do it again Friday. We got game 2, Robbie Ray versus Brian Wu. Wu, a Bay Area kid, also looks very good. We faced him last year. Believe he did pretty well against us.
For sure.
Yeah, so kind of what do you see with Wu? Hard thrower, right?
Yeah, he throws hard. He's got a good sweeper. That kind of really got us a lot last year. So we're going to have to make an adjustment this year for sure. He's going to be hard to face. We're going to have to get these guys out of the game. All their starters are really, really tough. So we just got to pray that we can get them out early, get the pitch mix up, and grind out at-bats. It's going to be our best chance to really attack this game. So Brian Wu got the best of us last year. I think he had like 9 strikeouts in 6 innings, something like that. So we're going to have to make a big adjustment this year. We got a lot of new guys coming in facing him this year. So let's hope guys like Adames can really step up in that game.
Yeah, no, and he will. I kind of reiterate the Jake prediction that we're going to get an Adames bomb this weekend because why the hell not? This is his new home for 7 years. He's going to learn to rake in Oracle Park, and he's going to break some bad vibes. I think the Giants are going to leave the yard a lot this weekend. Just to let a naysayer know. We got game 3, Jordan Hicks versus TBD. They haven't announced it yet. Could be a bullpen game, but Hicks is going to shove. Could go perfect game. That's my prediction.
Perfect game.
Yeah, we'll put it all on the line there, but probably not. He's not ramped up enough, but excited to see him throw at home where he's not going to get in any BS with hits and stuff. When you take a look at this Mariners team, Jake, who's a couple players that stand out in terms of what fans should watch for and kind of be concerned about?
First of all, Cal Raleigh, their catcher. I think he was an all-star last year, but he was also the Gold Glove. Great defensive catcher, good framer, can throw runners out. He's a great blocker. Overall, great catcher, and he's got a lot of pop for a catcher too as well. He had 34 bombs and 100 RBIs last year, and 546 at bats. So you're gonna, if you hang curveball or throw a fastball down the middle, he's gonna take advantage of that. Even at this yard, he's got a lot of pop. So he's definitely a guy we're gonna have to watch out for. Even though he's off to kind of a rough start right now, only hitting 125 with a bomb and 24 at bats. He could easily ramp up at any point.
Yeah, no, and I do want to warn you here on the air, do not hit his under for home runs, even if it is 1.5. Jake, we were sitting in a bar, I think actually in San Diego, and it was like last year, and Jake's like, oh, dude, there's this free line on, it was probably Sleeper, I don't even know what the hell it was. It was 1.5 home runs for Cal Raleigh. He put a lot of money on it, hit the under. Cal Raleigh hit 2 home runs that night. So Giants fans do not touch any.
That wasn't the end of it, too, because the next day I'm like, he's not going to hit another one, so I bet under on his home run again, and he hit another one. So yeah, don't touch the home runs, please.
Yeah, if you're going to the game on Friday, just stay away from Cal Raleigh. There's some bad vibes. Obviously you should all know Julio Rodriguez, one of the studs in the league right now. ESPN had him ranked as the number 1 center fielder coming into the season. Tends to just get really hot at times. He had a horrid start to last year. Didn't heat up till like August, and then he went crazy. Last year hit 273, 20 bombs, 24 stolen bases. Kind of one of the better players in the league. Similar-ish to Elly De La Cruz. How can we stop Julio Rodriguez?
Just throw him balls in the dirt and let him swing at it. He strikes out a good amount, and you kind of got to get in his head because he has these big runs where he doesn't do anything, and then he also has these giant runs where he hits like 500 throughout the entire month, and his stats just kind of meet in the middle. He's not really this average player where you're going to get 1 knock a game and 4 at-bats. He's going to either go 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, or he's going to go 4 for 4 with 4 bombs. You're not going to really get an in-between with him. So we just got to hope we're on the right side of things for us and kind of pitch around him a little bit and make him get himself out because he'll tend to do that.
Yeah, and this team is like really struggling to score runs right now. If you look at some of their box scores, like these guys can't score runs. Their pitchers are balling out, and these guys can't pick them up. So hopefully they continue to do that. Hopefully we are not involved at all in one of these Linsanity runs. Another good player on this team, Randy Arozarena, kind of a household name as well. Was on those really good Rays teams. Got traded to got traded to the Mariners last year. I will put out a disclaimer: keep your wives and girlfriends away from Randy. He has a history there, so just be on the lookout in downtown San Francisco. He's not going to be happy when Jordan Hicks, Justin Verlander, and Robbie Ray strike him out 9 times. So just a heads up there. Felt like we'd be doing you guys a disservice if you didn't know about that. Randy on the baseball field last year when he was allowed to even be out there hit 219, 20 bombs, 20 stolen bases. Did like a cool bat spike against the A's the other night. Congrats on the A's. I'm not a big Randy guy, if you can hear it. Do you like Arozarena at all, or are you excited to see him just completely shit the bed this weekend?
Yeah, he's been on a pretty big downfall after being traded, and even last year. The year before that, he was great. I think he was an all-star, participated in the home run derby too. I think he got through a couple of the rounds as well. He's got some sneaky pop for sure. But yeah, he's kind of been trending downwards. They don't have a lot of hitters this year. He's kind of just one of those guys that can come out there and have a good day that, we might run into. So he's definitely got to look out for, even though he's kind of been streaky these past couple of years. But don't count him out because he's a veteran and he could find a way.
Yeah, for sure. 100% agree, because he can easily go win a series, and he has insane aura as well. They have an incredible pitching rotation, as we've seen. I'm sure that TBA third guy will be another dog. I think they're just trying to figure out the rest, so don't count that as a win by any means. There's not even a close second to pitching rotation staffs besides the Giants. We got some keys to series victory. Jake put these together. It's going to be vital to extend every at-bat here. This is an incredible rotation. So we need to get to this bullpen. We've done damage against the bullpen. We need to limit the strikeouts. You think we're going to limit the strikeouts at all?
No, we're not going to, but it's just a good mindset to have. Limit the strikeouts, fight, don't swing at high fastballs like Ramos does every other at-bat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a ton of strikeouts, but if they're walking 5 times like they did today, I can stomach it a little bit.
Just don't ground out on the first pitch and don't strike out in 3 pitches and just kind of fight. Foul pitches off. Hit it hard. I don't know. Just
foul pitches off, like Joe Coupland.
Joe Coupland
talks
funny.
about. Yeah, just foul. If you know there. If you're, I doubt anybody even knows that if you're listening now. And then we got to continue hitting the long ball in clutch situations. The 2-out RBIs are a little bit fluky and lucky, but it has been a huge mindset for this team. So I'm just excited to see how these guys play this weekend at home, Oracle Park. There's nothing like it. Reds come to town after that. We'll sweep those motherfuckers out of town as well. I think homestand predictions, we're going 5-1 again. We're keeping these brooms going. I don't think we sweep the Mariners. I think we get the Reds pretty good.
10-2 to start the year.
Yeah, is that your prediction? You see like more of a 4-2 homestand?
I think we could go 10-2. I think if everyone plays the way we've been playing and we continue to build that momentum, I don't see why not. We did it in spring. Let's do it again.
Yeah, 100%. Let's keep the good vibes rolling. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. We will be back next Wednesday or Thursday. I'll tweet it out. We'll have a Yankees preview. We have a big road trip after this at the Yankees, at the Phillies. We'll have a pretty big guest on there for the Yankees show. Pretty big guy on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jake.
Thanks for tuning in.